All right. So it should be showing all participants.
It just shows white.
Let me see. Yeah. She said it was doing that. I did a meeting this morning and she said that my screen kept doing that, but that's probably because my internet connection is gone. It'll still record real good. It'll
Okay,
just,
that's fine.
so I'm probably gonna do that to my camera so at least my face shows where my internet's crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, it's snowing out here. Of course, you know, we got this stupid winter mix.
Oh, I know.
So your book is out now.
Yes, finally, the revised version is out. The original version came out on December 21st, and I wasn't pleased with it because it didn't have enough content, and they had left out stuff. But it was just a misunderstanding. They revised it, and so it's out, and
Awesome.
seems to be doing pretty good. I don't know I don't know any information about the movie yet because I just know that that's what they're trying to do.
I think
So
that's awesome.
I don't have
That's
any
awesome.
details on that. I'm sure that'll be a process.
Right.
And
Yeah, I think so too.
so, but I'm hoping that it'll do good and that everything comes out and it's a blessing.
It really is. So, okay, now, so your book is out. We can find it on Amazon because that's where I went and looked for it.
Right.
And I ordered my copy. And so when are you doing the book signing?
February 22nd at 3 o'clock at Briggs Library.
Awesome. Awesome. I'll be there for sure. So I already knew the answer to that. I just wanted you to say it so that others can others can hear it. But okay, so I think that's awesome. The excerpt you have in there, or what they show when you go to Amazon, it's actually the part about your mom and how you guys are going through the process of her transitioning over, passing on. And you were talking about, all of you wanting to stay there even though she wasn't there, right?
Right.
And just to be near her. I thought that was awesome. I can't wait to get my copy and read it. Of course, I'm going to get it signed when you do your signing, but that right there was a pretty good part for them to put in because it draws you in. You want to know more.
Yeah.
So,
But it was a task writing the book and I told the truth, and that's my story. And people may want to say different, but I know I had everything documented, everything journaled, and I know exactly what was said to me, when it was said to me, what year it was said to me and done to me,
right.
And I have so anybody can have at it if they disagree.
Right. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. You'll probably get people that disagree. I've had people since we've done our first interview. I've had people tell me, try to sway me in a way of, but I don't let people sway me when it comes to my opinion of people. Once I decide how I feel about someone, they're in my life for a reason. And I don't let other people sway me out of that or try to convince me. Sorry, I'm dropping Tylenol. Or try to convince me of things. So, but the only thing it's I had heard was that all the scores. I keep hearing about the scores. So, do you know why your scores aren't published? That's what I keep hearing.
Scores.
Yeah, for when you got into the police force.
Oh, that should be public record. They just probably won't give it out. Um, um, I'm sure, and that's been 1996. And
See, that's what I was thinking. It's older stuff. I haven't looked into it. What I did look into is how to file the FOIA reports on anything, right?
right,
Whether it be a government office or police or whatever. So I did go through looking that up. But anyways, yeah. So that's the only thing I've ever gotten. And I did get a list of questions like um, it being I can only imagine. Now I know how our town has operated in our county. And it
right,
always seems to me like it's a man's world here. Like I know, and that's how I feel like it was for you. Like you're getting in there, and in their eyes, it's a man's place, and they're in charge, and what they
right.
say is right. And
Well, back in 1996, things were different than they are now. Um, so they didn't accept things, my lifestyle. They didn't accept that, and I just had to suffer through it. So, but I'm still here, and
exactly.
I made it, and I appreciate all the organizations that have reached out to me um, with the LGBT community, and
Cool. That's
all
cool.
me assistance with attorneys if somebody comes to try to uh, do something about the book.
Right.
And so I'll announce those organizations right, confirmed everything.
Cool. Cool. Um, all right. Okay, so the LGBTQ community is helping. That's cool. So that means that you've gotten a lot of like people looking at this. Obviously, if they're wanting to do a movie, and I figured it would go to a movie when you wrote it, anyways, because listen, we're a small town. You are a female, and like you said, you were scrutinized even for your sexuality. Uh, what is it called in the workplace? Well, it's workplace harassment. And in every area, you were harassed. And
Yes, differential treatment,
mhm,
sexual harassment, um, just anything they could do to make me want to leave and quit. They did, and so thank
well,
God I
your
now.
story is not uncommon. That is sad for me to say. It shouldn't be a common occurrence, but it is. It's a common thing. And I believe that just now, just the past few years, we're starting to get notice on this kind of stuff, and
Yeah,
we're finally starting to make headway. And so, what do you think about that? We're starting to make headway, and now, you had went through all that you went through. Would do you would you do it all the same again, or what? Would you do anything different?
um, I I hadn't really thought about that. I would do the same thing. I mean, that was just the time in my life when I wanted to go through the academy and do all that. I I I don't want to hang it stronger, but I've had a lot of therapy over the years to get strong enough to write that book, and it took a lot
I
of
guarantee
energy.
it. I guarantee
And
it.
so hopefully, um, the publishing company and the couple people have sent my book to producers and directors in LA, and um, Brian Roberts, a friend of mine who has some connections, and um, so hopefully somebody will pick it up and want to run with it. And so looking forward to that.
I believe they will. Now, if they come back to you and they ask, if there's any other, like maybe corruption you've witnessed or any, outside of that, say, to add to it. Is there anything that you could add?
Um, yeah, there is. There's a lot I could add. There was a lot that I documented that I left out of the book, and I could honestly probably write a second book, a sequel to it, as I go through the journals and find out more information. I don't regret using some real names on there. Because that's what they did and they know they did it. So people ask me that all the time. Why did you use real names? Well, in the movie, the names will be fictional.
Right.
So to protect the, not so innocent people that changed my life, but just it'll be a true movie based on a true story with fictional events in it. So just to how they do, like on North Country. And I would love to have Sharice Theron play the part for myself at this age, but I can't pick.
She'd be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that or I would love to have Kelly Riley, Beth Dutton. I'd love to have her. I love her attitude, but her language is a little foul. But
yeah, you weren't foul at all. You were awesome. I remember you. I liked you. I thought you were a good police officer. And if we had had more like you, we wouldn't be dealing with the corruption that we're dealing with, because, a lot of them seem like they want to turn their head. And you can always see from the person that's above them how the officers below them are going to be. There might be a few good ones, but they're rare, it seems like.
Oh, I got several calls today and messages about Cold Grove Police Department having a party in the mayor's office, girls, and
oh wow.
I posted it because there's a guy in Huntington, and his name's Alligator Jackson, and he somebody sent him the video, and some officers brought some girls back and had in the police department, and somebody sitting at the mayor's desk rolling a big joint. And, so it goes on, and you can't just overlook it.
Right.
You can't just overlook it. It's been going on for years. That's why nobody can get in the Ironton Police Department. It's locked. You cannot go down and file a report. You have to go to the sheriff's department. If you call the police, you have to call the sheriff's department, 911. Then they'll hook you up with Ironton. Now, I don't know why they decided to all of a sudden close the police department, that you can't go in and file a report.
Right.
That's so. I mean, who can tell what goes on in there?
Well, that's so when you go to the sheriff's office, they'll say, sure, you can file a report. Can I have your ID? And then they'll run you. And if you have any little bitty thing on you, even if it's something in the past, they'll try to get you. That's just how they are. I really have lost faith in our county officers, especially when the stuff happened with Brad Spalgeric.
Right.
Now, I even called today before we did this interview, and they still say or claim that they haven't found, due to holidays, haven't found a special judge for him. And
well,
I find that to be bullshit.
They prolong it until it's out of the limelight, and then it just disappears.
That's what I asked, if that was going to happen. And then they started wanting to know who I was, because I blocked my info. And they started to want to know who I was.
They give you an option: either take the charges or resign. And most people resign. And they gave me that option, and I didn't. I still filed a grievance. I still fought it, and took it to court. And you can see by the book, the people that have read it, that that lady was coerced or threatened into filing a complaint against me, or her kids were going to be taken away. And
Yeah,
she,
they do that. They do that because they have what's his name? Randy Thompson down there. He was the head of CPS for a long time, and he's as crooked can go. And they can just tell him what they want done and he'll do it.
well, I
That's
don't know.
that's
I know,
sad.
and he's I don't know anything personally that he's done wrong, but I it's a shame
Hmm.
that people get pressured by the police. Not all of them.
Right.
There's some good cops, um, but you know, it's easy. I witnessed when I was a cop, the good cops get intertwined with the bad cops, and then they bring you right in the group. And to be
Hmm.
accepted, you have to do what they want you to do. Well,
Exactly.
I wasn't willing to do that, so
Right.
I was not accepted. So you know,
Yeah.
oh well, there you go.
Yeah, and see, then, like I was talking about with Paul Jarek, if you go back and you look on videos that Terry was following them around, um, there was so many. How many pullovers did they have where they found just a little bit of fentanyl or just a little bit of meth and fentanyl? And he was bragging. Brad was. Now we got it. The reason we do unlawful searches, basically, is what he was justifying his unlawful searches, is so that we can get that dangerous drug off the street. And here he was caught with that drug, and then
Exactly.
here we are, months later, still dealing with an epidemic of overdoses in our county, and a lot of them aren't investigated. You know,
Right.
they're not investigated further. They're not trying to really do the work. We have a high rate of unsolved crimes. We have a high rate of brutality. We have the highest rate, our state does, of people incarcerated without being charged.
Right.
I don't understand that. That one
Out-
blew my mind. Yep, without being convicted. That kills me. Of course, because you're guilty before innocent here. Um, and a lot of places do that, especially if their revenue is based on what they collect off of the citizens, and our revenue is mostly based off of that. And it's all
Right.
low level crimes, and it's hardly ever. It's only 5% high crime. Only 5%. We don't have a high crime rate, not of really big crimes, murders, things like that. We don't have a high rate of that, but we do have a high rate arrest of low level crimes. A lot of that stuff could be prevented, and we could
Oh yeah.
have better funding too if it was fixed. That's the sad thing. We could
Yes.
have better funding. We could have better paid police officers if it was ran different and done different.
Right. I agree.
So, do you have any ideas or suggestions on that part of where we could maybe go?
Um, I think the best thing that could happen is to clear them all out and start over. Um,
I agree 100.
we would have to get somebody in the government to look into these corrupt police departments and get rid of the people that are doing wrong.
Exactly.
The only thing is, there's not enough. The only police academy here is at the vocational school. I don't even know if they still have it. But
Yeah, I think that closed
you
down.
can't get enough officers. And when you're a young officer and you are hired at a police department, you want to be included with the men above you. You want to be in the gang. You know, I
Right.
didn't join the gang, so therefore I was a loner. You know, I didn't participate. I was the blunt of the jokes. I mean, I was the
So they hazed you a lot. So basically,
yes,
it's if you don't join us, we're going to haze you until you break
right.
down And
Every time Carrie would see me, he'd say, "Here comes little Miss Top," and there's no sense in that.
no, there is not.
But I believe that they have to live with what they did, and I don't wish any harm to any of them.
Exactly.
But I've told my story, and I hope the movie does well. And I just I don't know. I'm at a loss for words, especially after today, after seeing the Cold Grove police videos.
Oh, I know that's crazy because it's like rules for thee, but not for me.
Right.
That's
Well, I
not good.
know that people are looking into what they do, but yet they think that badge and that gun gives them authority over everybody, and it doesn't.
Exactly.
Just a part of it. And so I don't know what's going to happen around locally, but hopefully I'll move away from here when
Right.
the movie,
He
and
was talking about that.
I just I don't go anywhere. I feel like I got a target on my back, and but I'm not scared to go anywhere. I just don't have any desire to. I'm retired,
Right.
and as long as I can publish my books and continue to do that, I'll be happy.
Right.
But
you may not want to move away after the movie comes out, because I'm telling you, I feel like it is just now opening up to them realizing that their old ways are going to have to change, even though they are still messing up. Like I talked to you this morning about the .org, and it's scorecard.org, policescorecard.org. And you can look up any county, any city, any state, and it will tell you how they rate from 0 to 100. And our city, Ironton, is at 46 or 56%. The sheriff's office is around the same. That's not very high. And
right.
it also talks about the accountability there. That's real low, police accountability is. And of course, our arrest rates are really high. The brutality is really high. And so when I was looking through it, it gives you some representatives at the end, and it's based on the counties. So I looked that up too, and I'm going to make some phone calls. Now, another thing I found, which will be good to show, I don't know if I can show it, but another thing I found was I searched how to file a complaint on Lawrence County or Ironton Police. And I'll be darned if it didn't bring me to a real page where you could file a real complaint. Now, a year or two ago, when our friends TJ and Sarah were going through the crap they're going through, you couldn't find that page. It did not exist. So that is something new that is now available. And you can file it anonymously, or you can file it using your name, and you get a representative immediately to help you with that complaint. I think that's awesome.
Well, that's a shame why they done Tim and Sarah. They're good people.
Yes.
And they don't deserve what happened to them. And I'm behind them 100%. It's just blatant harassment and targeting.
It is.
It
sure is.
If you're patrolling and you see a car that's got a cracked windshield, and it's maybe not a new vehicle, that's an easy target for you to pull them over for a cracked windshield. Well, maybe they don't have a job. Maybe they can't afford to get their windshield fixed.
Right.
So have some sympathy for people. I mean, my dear God, people have to have a car to drive to work. And if you impound that car just to make a quota, or just because you felt like you should, then that's terrible. Give people the luxury of being able to get their car fixed before you tow it and sell it.
Exactly. And
Oh,
that is a lot that happens in this county. And it shows on the scorecard, police scorecard. That's
Yeah.
what they mean when they say that most of the revenue for sheriff's office in Ironton and the police department in Lawrence County, most of our revenue comes from confiscated property.
Right.
Wow. 80%. It's what it says on that scorecard. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the scorecard real quick. If it doesn't
Okay.
act stupid on us, it's awesome. I love it. Well, that was how to file the FOIA report, is what that one is. That's all right. I'll go there anyways. We'll share the sound. I'm going to pull up the scorecard. There's San Diego. I was on scorecard. There it is. Now that is awesome. I got San Diego's scorecard up right now, and they're actually crappy too. But okay, so right here, this is kind of how it'll talk about on ours, but it says San Diego's Sheriff's Department reported 95% deadly force incidents from 2016 to 2018. They have a 4.6 rate higher deadly force per arrest than San Diego. Wait, let me see how. Than the San Diego Police Department. The Sheriff's Department has a higher deadly rate. Wow. But you can go search. Let's see. I'm going to put in hours. Get up here. It's long. It goes through everything, and it tells you even how much money per person you have for the police department. So like our county is low. It's like 80 some dollars per person is what we're afforded with our
Right.
residents. But like I said, that actually funding goes up based on how good the department is. And when I read that, I thought, wow, well, if our department would just be good, we could get more money.
Right.
Police accountability, it talks about that. Let's see.
Well, I'm glad to see that the complaint forms are finally on the website for Ironton.
Yeah, me too. That made me very, very happy. Let's search Ironton. Ironton, Ohio. See, I had it up there. It was 46%.
Yeah.
So, and then it talks about the sheriff's department too. And I like that, how you can go and look at each county. But I have to say, it honestly did kind of outrage me that most of their money is from confiscated stuff. So, police
Right.
accountability is 30%. This is the police department. The funding is at 45%. We have low funding. It's police violence is 63%. It'll even talk about per arrest, if the person was armed, if they're not. And
Right.
the racial disparities is a little bit different. Oh, we only have a low percentage of, we have 2 unsolved homicides. But
I'd say there's a lot more than that.
the sheriff's department has many more. When I was looking at the sheriff's department earlier, it has many more.
Right. Well,
yeah, and there probably is more than that.
Have to remember that the police department reports those numbers to
Right.
the authorities, so they're going to say whatever they want to report what they have, they don't have. But
Right.
So you really can't you can't go by the numbers, I don't think.
Well,
But
this will tell you, if you read it, how they got their information. They didn't exactly go to the police departments themselves because they know they lie.
Right.
So they went through court proceedings, complaints where people filed complaints against the police department. They went through that avenue, and they even talk about the demographics. That's what I wanted to talk about. See, look, like our black population is small compared to the white and Latino. And so some of that is a little bit off compared to other cities where there would be more of one race, than there is of another, is all I was getting at. So yeah, it's a little different, but
Well, that's interesting.
it is, isn't it? So yeah, if anybody's interested in that, they can go check that out. I'm gonna stop share, and I know you got stuff that you've got to do this evening, and my kids are starting to get a little riled up. But
Okay. Well, I appreciate
so,
your time.
yes, I've really enjoyed this conversation. Is there anything you would like to add before we go?
No, just all my supporters, and I appreciate you purchasing the book, and I appreciate the feedback I've got from it, and hope the movie does good. I hope
do
it comes
too.
through, and I hope I can handle it, whatever happens.
I think you can. I know you can. You've endured a lot. So February 22nd, huh?
At 3 o'clock at Briggs Library.
All right. Thank you,
So
Beth.
if you've already purchased the book, bring the book with you, and I'll sign it.
All
I don't
right,
know.
I'll bring my copy and mom's. So,
Okay. Well, thank you.
all right. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.